I will stay in here.
Have a look at this.
What? Where did this come from?
Clark's lab. His test room, to be precise.
You were able to get inside?
Sure was. It was full of plants and all kinds of weird equipment. The ethericity seems to have boosted the growth of the seeds somehow. It's like a jungle in there.
I cannot condone your reckless disregard for the sanctity of the laboratory. But I also cannot deny the importance of this discovery. I must alert Emissary Paul immediately.
I'd better be quick. No telling when that chump might come back. Lots of extra glassware. Nothing I need. Lots more books. Mostly about technical subjects. Nothing that would help me locate Clark's stash, though. Even more books in here. Some novels, poetry books, and what's this? Looks like a diary.
I should have known. Get out of here this instant, degenerate! Don't you dare try any more trickery, or Emissary Paul will hear of it.
At least I found what I was looking for. I should probably get out of... The final entry is bookmarked with a letter. Definitely worth a read. But first...
February 9th, 1850.
That's only 9 months ago.
Clark, I have a business proposal. Relinquish that dusty laboratory in the middle of nowhere. Come to El Presidio. You may stay in my suite at the Jolly Good Club. My Orem Star membership and military rank afford me certain privileges. You will be furnished with the comforts owing to a man of your intellect and accomplishments.
It's signed L.
P.S. You needn't have any concern for your valuables, as there is ample secure storage in the room. One of the aforementioned perks.
Interesting. Jake will want to see this. What in the ether is going on here?
Miss Larkin was kind enough to offer to paint my shadow.
In the altogether?
Well, didn't want to get my clothes dirty.
Besides, I paint the soul. The subject must bear himself and discard all excess.
Hey, Jake. I've got something to show you.
So, show me.
I'd prefer to speak in private.
Can't it wait? I'm a mite indisposed at the moment.
It's to do with what we've been looking for.
Ah, well, in that case, excuse me a moment, won't you, darling? All right, what do you got?
I found Clark's journal. Have a look at this letter that was inside.
An invitation to the Jolly Good Club in El Presidio?
Yep. Check the date.
9 months ago. Ah, nice sleuthing, Harley. Let's round up the others and say our goodbyes. We need to plan our next steps.
Leaving us so soon? But you've only just arrived.
We appreciate the hospitality, but it's time we moved on.
If your journey must continue, then so be it. But we cannot thank you enough for your discovery of Evocata Bennett's etheric cultivator, Miss Legere. Once we relocate and configure the equipment, our crops will surely flourish.
That's great to hear. I hope you'll all be well fed this winter.
Know that you will always find welcome in Chrysalis. Farewell, my friends.
Odd bunch of folks, but quite charming in their way.
There is a strange kind of peacefulness about this place.
That's a fine way of putting it. Anyhow, let's get to the crux of the matter. Harley turned up Clark's diary.
More importantly, I found a letter inside inviting him to the Jolly Good Club in El Presidio. It was dated 9 months ago.
That's right about the time he disappeared, isn't it?
It is indeed. I'd say it's obvious that the good doctor accepted the invitation.
And took his money with him?
Well, it ain't here or in his lab. And what's that postscript in the letter say, Harley?
You needn't have any concern for your valuables, as there is ample secure storage in the room.
Don't get much clearer than that.
All right, so what's our next move?
Why we follow Clark's trail to El Presidio, of course. First and foremost, we'll need some means of transport.
You haven't got any? Don't you tour around?
Sure, but our show wagon ain't gonna fit all of us.
Plus, we'll need it to store all the show's props and equipment while we're gone. There's that lady in town with a wagon, though. Heard her talking at the saloon once. Said she hires it out to travelers.
Sounds promising. Who is she?
Her name's Lola Johnson. I think she stays in the old blacksmith shop.
Lola Johnson, huh?
You know her?
Not personally, but I've heard of her.
We should head back to Rosewater, no?
Yeah, let's get a move on. Right. Harley, I'm putting you in charge of hiring us some transportation. Danny and I are going back to the theater to settle some business. Come get us once you've arranged a ride.
And just how am I meant to arrange it? Financially speaking?
Well, now that may get a mite tricky. Our contract was to pay out at the end of the show's run, but seeing as we'll be breaking that contract, I'm sad to say we'll be forfeiting those proceeds. Anybody else got funds to contribute to the kitty?
Not unless this Johnson woman accepts pesos. And I've few enough of those at that.
I'm afraid I haven't got anything either.
Harley, my dear, I'm afraid we must then prevail upon you to furnish the petty cash needed to get our expedition aloft. seeing as you're the only other one of our posse who's currently in the position of being gainfully employed. And it goes without saying, but you'll be fully reimbursed once we find what we're looking for, on top of your share. With interest.
I certainly hope so.
Wonderful. Well then, we'll be seeing you later.
What about you two?
I think I'll pay Dr. Sedgwick a visit. It's been ages.
And I owe him proper thanks for his care.
See you in a bit, Harley.
Good to see you again.
All right, let's get this thing knocked out. But first... Okay, time to bring home the bacon. The big question, how to open? From the moment he rode on stage astride a huge, steam-spewing mechanical horse, it could not be denied that Jake Ackerman was more than your typical copperpenny showman. Following that outstanding overture, Gentleman Jake's Wild West Spectacular proceeded in a similarly gobsmacking vein. Now, the middle section needs to recapture the reader's interest. Let's see. Not content to sit on his laurels, Jake has undertaken an audacious investigation into some of our very own local mysteries. I was fortunate enough to accompany him on a foray to Dr. Bennett Clark's erstwhile laboratory of the forbidden etheric sciences, situated just outside the town of Rosewater. What we found inside boggled the imagination. And now for an ending. All in all, Mr. Ackerman has shown the true qualities of a great leader and hero. May his adventures persist and his tales continue to inspire and delight. All right, that should do it. Now, what should I title it? Jake Ackerman, a true gentleman. And done.
Good to see you again, Harley. Hope you're spinning me some Orem.
Well, I've spent the past couple days following Jake around, gathering plenty of straw.
Glad to hear it. I like writers who go above and beyond.
Here you are, Joni. One profile of Gentleman Jake, ready to print.
Let's have a look. You know, writing the headline is normally the editor's job. Now let's see. Goodness, this account of the show is very descriptive. You've made me feel like I was there in the front row. This is good. You've kept it brisk all the way through. Not bad, Harley. Not bad at all. A few snips here and there and this will be fit to print. Here's your fee, as agreed. Now I know what I'm working with, I'll have a think about your next assignment.
About that.
Hmm?
I'm leaving for El Presidio with Gentleman Jake. We're after Bennett Clark's missing fortune. Whatever we find, I've got a feeling it'll make a hell of a story.
You're right about that. Tales from the wild frontier are in vogue these days, and folk will be gumming to find out what happened to Clark. All right then. Clark's missing fortune it is.
I've got something else.
Oh? Do tell.
While I was going around with Jake, we spent some time with the Otham. I learned that they've come under constant attack from the soldiers at Fort Beaumont.
What? Why?
That's the thing. There's no reason. They pose no threat, yet the soldiers harass them anyway. In one recent raid, all their crops were torched.
That's atrocious. People need to know about this.
I'm glad you think so, because their leader wants their story told. She's willing to be interviewed. She gave me this statement, too.
Powerful stuff. I'll pay a visit as soon as I can and see for myself. Plenty of townsfolk could stand to learn about our neighbours in the valley. This could open their eyes.
I hope so. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to see about hiring a wagon.
Godspeed, Harley.
See you later, Joni.
Take care of yourself out there.
Excuse me?
How can I be of assistance?
What's to know about this town?
You picked a fine time to arrive, Miss Legere.
Why's that?
A few years back, you could hardly drive a wagon through the street. It was so full of folk coming and going. I'm sure you've noticed that's no longer the case.
So where did everyone go?
Wherever the Orem actually is would be my guess. There's still some prospectors hanging on, convinced they'll find something everyone else missed. I'm sure they'll all come to their senses eventually.
If they all go, where will that leave you?
Why, getting by, I imagine. Peaceful, quiet life. The railroad still brings some traffic. Folks on their way further west are shipping goods back east, although not as many as before the transcontinental airship line opened up. Easier to sail clear over the country than ride the rails halfway. Suits me fine, though.
Been working here long, Mr. Dixon?
Oh, about 5 years. I was the first one Joni hired on shortly after launching the paper. Was a farmhand before that. Keeping books is much nicer than tending cow pens, let me tell you.
Anything I should know about the townsfolk?
Can't really help you there. I'm just a simple family man, and we keep to ourselves.
Those are some mighty fine whiskers you've got.
Oh, why, thank you, Miss Legere. The missus tells me I ought to shave, but I'm fond of the look.
As you should be. Did you ever happen to meet Dr. Bennett Clark?
I have Joni's account of his demonstrations at the theater, but I never saw them myself. Never met the man, neither. He wasn't seen much in town.
You wouldn't happen to know anything about the Luminarians, would you?
I have no idea what that word even means.
Never mind then. I'll leave you to your work.
Appreciate it, ma'am.
Feeling lost? Buy a map of Rosewater. Just 1 crown. Maps of Rosewater. A steal for just 1 crown.
You just keep turning up like a bad copper, don't you?
Nice to see you too.
I'm nearly afraid to ask, what in the Sam Hill are you doing now?
I'm selling maps of the town.
To whom, exactly? Near as I can tell, I'm the only new arrival. The locals in the market for maps of a town you can circumnavigate in 10 minutes.
You're a real stick in the mud, you know that?
Don't go anywhere.
Not like there's anywhere to go.
What do you want?
You're Lola Johnson, right?
Right. Who are you and what's your business?
Name's Harley Legere. My companions and I are headed to El Presidio, and we heard you've got a wagon for hire.
I do? How many are you?
5, including myself.
My fee is 40 crowns up front.
Your fee seems a bit steep.
My price is my price. I don't haggle. Already been robbed once today. Don't intend to make a habit of it.
Something of yours was stolen?
My pocket watch.
I see. What if I got it back?
I would be incredibly surprised. Unless there's something you know that I don't.
Let's just say I have my suspicions.
You and me both.
I'll come back later.
Maps of Rosewater! A steal for just 1 crown!
Hey, kid.
Yeah?
You have something that doesn't belong to you.
Could you be more specific?
Lola Johnson's watch. I want it back.
No can do. You swiped that watch for me fair and square.
I think you'll find it in your best interest to give me that watch back.
Oh yeah? Why's that?
Because you're better than this, Jem.
What's that supposed to mean?
Look, I get it. You think this whole Artful Dodger act is fun, but if you keep it up, it's only a matter of time until your little game turns into the real thing. Take it from me. This isn't a road you want to go down.
How do you know?
Kid, don't fool yourself. You think you own this town. That's because the most exciting thing happens around here's when some yahoo gets tossed out a window. I grew up in Lamplight City. The Chum, to be exact. Ever heard of it?
Oh.
That little stunt you and your brother pulled before? Know how that would have played out there?
How?
He'd have had his throat slit as soon as he was caught, and you'd have 2 bullets in your back for running away. Now, is that really the kind of life you want?
Fine, you win. Here's the damn watch.
Appreciate it. Now go home and read some books. You'll thank me for it later. Here, I believe this belongs to you.
I'll be damned. Where did you find it?
Jem had it.
I might have known. Little bastard. Well, one good turn deserves another. I'll knock 10 crowns off my fee.
Here's your fee.
Good. Get your posse together and meet me outside town at sundown. We'll head out then. There you are. This your group then?
This is us.
All right, folks, listen here. I'm Lola Johnson. This is my wagon. When you're in my wagon, you follow my rules. Rule 1, I'm your driver, not your friend. While we're moving, leave me be. That means no yammering in my ear about how pretty you think the mountains are. Rule 2, we stop and go as I say. I ain't interested in blowing up my engine just 'cause y'all are in a hurry. Last rule, everybody does their part. Be it cooking, hunting, or gathering firewood. This ain't no pleasure cruise, and I won't be serving y'all. The road can be rough, but I'm an experienced navigator and tracker, so stick with me and you'll be fine. If you've got any questions, now's the time to ask.
Just how long do you expect this journey to take?
I reckon it shouldn't be more than 8 or 9 days, weather permitting. Anything else?
Regarding your first rule, what if we have an emergency?
Then tell me. Just don't bother me with small talk. I need to concentrate on driving. Anything else?
Well, that's an awful lot of rules. Don't you think the people paying your fee ought to be the ones setting terms?
You know any other folk in town with a wagon? That's what I thought.
We understand. You'll have no trouble from us.
All right then. Let's get a move on. Time's wasting.
We are off, with the first faint tendrils of dawn at our backs. We head west for El Presidio on the trail of the elusive Dr. Clark. We have but a few days' travel before us, through the desert and mountains to reach the coast. I am rather looking forward to getting a better view of this part of the country. And should the scenery lack for diversion, I suppose I'll have recourse in the fellowship of my new traveling companions. Now that we've assembled in this unlikely venture, perhaps it's time we got to better know one another.
Feels good to be underway at last.
Yes, though I must admit I tend to become restless on long trips.
Well, we got cards, books, and conversation. Plenty of ways to pass the time.
Phil?
Señorita?
Will this be your first time visiting El Presidio?
It will. I have heard many tales of this so-called Mouth of the West. I am curious to find out which ones are true.
You're very polite, Phil, but please, call me Harley.
What is wrong with Señorita?
It's not my name.
Ah, but it is a sign of respect. I would never dream of addressing a new Spanish lady by her given name.
Well, things are different here.
As I am learning. If you wish it, it will be so.
Appreciate it. We'll talk more later.
I look forward to it.
Hey, Nadine.
Hello, Harley.
Ever visited El Presidio before?
I've never been beyond this valley.
No kidding? I can't imagine staying in one place so long. But then I've been up and down most of this country.
Not everyone has the luxury to travel so extensively.
So how'd you become a healer? Did you go to school?
No. I mean, I attended the missionary school for a few years as a child, but not to learn medicine. I was taught by Dr. Sedgwick, Rosewater's physician. I worked as his apprentice for nearly a decade. He was a wonderful guardian and mentor. I am grateful for all his care.
You said Doc Sedgwick was your guardian? What about your parents?
I never knew my mother. She died soon after I was born. My father worked for Dr. Sedgwick, which is how I came to his household. He took me in when my father died from an infected wound.
I'm so sorry. How old were you?
I don't remember exactly, but I couldn't have been more than 5.
Did that have anything to do with you choosing to learn medicine?
I suppose so. Yes. If I can save somebody's loved one, grant them extra time to cherish together, well, there's no better way to help people, is there?
When did you return to the Otham?
I went to them in April of last year, but it wasn't a return. They took me in. People were leaving town, and there was less need for me at the clinic. It was Dr. Sedgwick who encouraged me to find my own path. The Otham were kind to accept me as a guest, but truthfully, I'm glad for this opportunity to travel with you and the others.
You said the Otham took you in. They aren't your people?
No. I don't know who my people are. My father never told Dr. Sedgwick, and I have no memories of him talking about it. I think my parents came from somewhere to the east, but I'm not even sure of that.
Have you ever tried?
No. It's complicated.
Hey, I see something up ahead, by the side of the road. Looks like somebody's been making lots of holes.
Wagon's slowing down.
Guess it caught Lola's eye, too. Let's have a look.
Have you been stranded out here, ma'am?
Oh, no, not at all. I can see how it might look that way, but I assure you, I am here with fierce and deliberate purpose.
So what possessed you to come stand out in the middle of the desert?
My name is Amber Lee, and I am a paleontologist.
Beg your pardon?
It means I collect and study fossils.
Fossils? You mean bones?
Yes, that's right. Bones of the great creatures that roamed these lands millions of years ago. The mighty thunder lizards who shook the ground with every step. This wasn't always a desert, you know. It may seem difficult to imagine now, but millions of years ago, this was all a vast, lush rainforest. The perfect habitat for these awesome beasts.
Suppose everybody needs a hobby.
This is no mere hobby, sir. This is my vocation. In fact, I have been invited to exhibit my findings at the esteemed Jolly Good Club in El Presidio.
The Jolly Good Club?
Does that mean you know Dr. Bennett Clark?
Afraid not. As women are excluded from the club, I've not had occasion to associate with its members. They have made a special exception to allow me to give my lecture, and they are expecting something spectacular. If I don't find something truly extraordinary to show, I will be in quite a bind. Fortune has not been in my favor on this expedition. I am certain this area is full of treasures. Fossilized remains, that is. But the Earth stubbornly refuses to yield up her secrets. Say, have you any experience with excavation?
Afraid not. Can't even remember the last time I touched a shovel.
Oh, no matter. The digging isn't even the most important part. It's the handling of the fossils. As long as you've a delicate touch, you'll be a great help. I shall compensate you for your trouble, of course.
How much are we talking?
I'll need 2 field assistants. I am prepared to offer you 5 crowns each for a day's labor, and double that if you turn up something I can exhibit.
If we do turn up something good, surely it's worth more than that to you. How about doubling that finder's fee to 10?
These discoveries will surely have enormous value to the scientific community, but I fear my cash is limited. It seems you are confident in your abilities. In exchange for the chance of a greater bonus, perhaps you will accept a reduction in the guaranteed fee to 3 crowns each?
So we'll make at least 6 and as much as 26 crowns.
Sounds like a fine gamble. Let's find us some bones. You taking point on this, Harley?
Guess so. Nadine, want to help me out?
Of course. Now remember, we are searching for bones belonging to the great dinosaurs that I believe were once abundant here. They may be scattered in pieces. I aspire above all to discover and assemble a complete skeleton for display. My holy grail, if you will. If you uncover anything useful, be sure to tag it for classification.
Don't waste too much time. We got to keep moving.
We shall reconvene in an hour.
All right, but not a minute more.
May fortune favor our search.
Oh, whoops. Sand's a touch cooler down here. Oh, whoops. can't dig any. I can't. Surprised I haven't hit. Just say. Oh, whoops. Sand's a touch cool. Sand. Oh, whoops. Surprised I haven't. Say, this looks promising. Just sand. Just. Ooh, this is interesting. Looks valuable. I'm keeping it. And what have we here? Ooh, this is interesting. Ooh, this is interesting. And what have we here? Looks valuable. I'm keeping it. Say, this looks promising. Ooh, this is interesting. I can't dig. Well now, what's this? Phew. I've been at this long enough.
All right, place everything you found on the table here and we'll have a look. Not a bad yield. You found some quality fossils. As for your companion, goodness, you've also found some wonderful fossils. This is quite a collection. Here is your fee, as we agreed. Thank you again for your assistance.
Don't mention it. Good luck with your exhibition. set for fuel for a good while. Hey, Jake?
Yeah, Harley?
Did your travels ever take you to El Presidio?
A few times. Can't say I much care for it. But that city's for you. Too crowded, too impersonal. I'll take the wide open countryside any day.
I appreciate the...
Anytime.
Hey, Danny, let's talk.
Sure. Actually, I was wondering about something. Where'd you learn how to fight?
Growing up where I did, you had to fight to survive.
Where was that?
New Britannia. The Chum, specifically.
Lamplight City, huh? I've heard it can get wild.
You've heard right.
Is that why you came west?
Yeah. I realized my life wasn't going to amount to much if I stayed.
Oh, yeah. I get that.
So have you been to El Presidio before?
Yeah, I was born there.
No kidding. Didn't you say your family lived near El Presidio?
In the area, yeah. They moved out to the city proper a few years back. I left when I was 16. Haven't been back in ages.
When the Otham had us locked up, you said something about having been in a similar predicament. Have to say, I've been curious.
Oh, right. Well, it's not that exciting. Nothing like one of Jake's stories.
Let me be the judge of that.
So, before I met Jake, I used to run with some folks who, well, we got into some trouble. The guy in charge, he thought it might be fun to try sticking up a post office. That didn't go so well. We wound up in jail for a few days. We didn't escape or anything, just did our time and were let go.
I see.
Told you it was a boring story.
Not at all. I appreciate you telling me. So who were these people you ran with before?
They, do we have to talk about this right now?
I want to know.
Well, you see...
Hey now, don't force the kid to talk if he don't want to. Danny, she's out of line. Don't say a word.
Sorry, Harley. I just rather not talk about it. We're slowing down again.
Good. I could use a change of environment. Harley, could I have a word outside?
Sure.
Sun's getting low. Time to set up camp.
Harley and I'll be back shortly. Just gonna take a walk over to that little town. Danny and the others can aid in the preparations.
You better not be skipping out every time there's work to be done, you hear?
Shall we?
Lead on.
Would you look at that spring? I ain't seen water that clear since that time I went swimming with the Prime Minister's rambunctious niece.
So, you wanted to talk to me about something?
I did. I can tell you've got a cogitating mind, always assessing the situation, finding the risks and opportunities. Now that we've got a real posse assembled, I'm keen to hear your thoughts on our little venture. Everything seemed hunky-dory so far, in your estimation?
Yes, I think so. It's an odd bunch, all right, but all capable in their own way. If a treasure's out there to be found, I think this gang can do it.
Delighted to hear it. You let me know if that changes, all right?
You got it.
Right, well, we should be heading back. L. Smith Johnson will...
Oh, hey there.
Howdy, friend.
Welcome, welcome. Name's Aubrey Trout, but you're not here about me. I reckon you're here for the spring water.
Something special about it?
Something special about it? This here's an etheric spring. Best kept secret in the great western desert.
Etheric spring?
Sure. Y'all know about ethericity, don't you?
We're familiar.
Well, this water's got the same properties, due to a confluence of etherically sensitive minerals deep in the earth, you see. This here's a hotbed. Taking a drink will cure whatever ails you and grant you the strength of 10 men.
No kidding.
If what you say is true, people would be lined up from here back to Rosewater. So where is everyone?
I told you, it's a secret. Oh, for now. Once word gets out, I'll be up to my eyes in folks wanting a sip of the stuff. I can see by your face you're not convinced. Maybe this'll change your mind. Observe.
Jumping Jehoshaphat.
Daily sips of this water have conferred upon me a practically superhuman strength. Now, tell me, how old do you think I am?
I imagine a spry young feller like yourself can't be more than 25?
What if I told you I was 52?
So you're saying the water stops you aging?
And reverses it. Why, my own sister wouldn't recognize me. Okay, look, I'll take a drink now. Watch me. There, you see? Tastes like springtime and sunlight. Now, if the water was no good, would I have done that?
Reckon not.
So go on, friends. Share in the wealth. Take a sip.
If it does even half of what you say.
Wait. I want to see Mr. Trout take another drink.
Beg pardon?
If this water's so safe, there's no harm in another sip, right?
Of course not. It'll only do me more good. Divine nectar.
Not so fast. Something is off. I'm sure you won't mind if I have a look around, Mr. Trout.
Be my guest.
All these trees look dead. That can't be a good sign. All these What have we here? Magic Spring didn't do much for this beast's health. Water of life, huh? What's this? A money pouch. There's 10 crowns in here. What's this? These boards have been badly damaged, but it looks like it says WRNI. Warning? They're circling low. That's not reassuring. Ow! Nothing but... Jake, I don't think you should drink that water.
Why not?
Just have a look at all the trees and plants around the spring. They're dead. I'd say that's a clear warning.
Oh, it's a desert. Plenty of straggly-looking vegetation.
There was a cow skull in the reeds. Looked deliberately hidden there.
Is that right?
Yes, I did that. Wasn't nefarious, just clearing the path so no one trips on it.
There was a warning sign over there, and someone destroyed it.
Really? That stick's been there since I found the place. Never seen a sign.
Now wait just a minute. What are you trying to pull here, friend?
Nothing. I swear.
Right, and I'm the Prime Minister. Quite the little scam you've got going on.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, I think you do. Jake, maybe you can coax our friend here to talk?
I'd listen to the lady, partner, unless you want to be another notch on Gentleman Jake's holster.
Okay. I'll talk. The spring's toxic. I trick people into taking a sip and then rob them.
Gee, Rover Cripes, that's pretty low. Even for a confidence trickster.
You don't kill them. A little sip only knocks you out for a bit.
So how are you still standing after all those drinks you took?
I got a natural immunity. What can I say? Found a way to turn it to my advantage.
And that iron-bending trick?
Like you said, just a trick.
Of course. I should have seen through that. We got ourselves a real piece of work here, Harley.
You're telling me.
What do you reckon we should do with them?
Just let the cretin go.
You sure about that?
What else is there to be done? You feel like playing bounty hunter and dragging him off somewhere?
Not particularly, no. Go then. Don't show your face around here ever again.
Not likely. Good day to you folks, then.
You really think he's gonna change his ways?
I certainly hope so. At least we're not coming out of this empty-handed. I found a stash of stolen money while I was snooping around.
Well, ain't that something? Come on, let's head back and see how the camp setup's going. So the little weasels concocted this whole story about how it's an etheric spring and the water has special powers, trying to hoodwink us into drinking it. All I can say is it's a good thing we ain't the rubes he took us for.
I feel sorry for anyone falling prey to his tricks. He was a crafty one.
Even so, you gotta get up pretty early in the morning to pull one over on old Jake.
So what happened when you found him out?
We got a full confession. Turns out, the water's poison. The snake worked up some scheme to get passers-by to drink, and then empty their pockets as soon as they were out of commission. Leastways, I think that's what he said. Couldn't catch half of it through his blubbering and sniffling.
It was a depraved little operation he had going.
So how'd you deal with him?
We made an example of him.
You killed him?
Let's just say he won't be harming anybody else.
The fellow was bad news. Somebody needed to put a stop to it.
I see.
Good. Sounds like the bastard deserved it.
The chili's almost ready. Harley, can you come help me and Phil serve?
Sure thing. That smells heavenly.
The kid is a good cook, eh? But I believe this chili could use a little of my secret ingredient.
What's that?
Mezcal. I picked up a bottle before we left Rosewater. Gives it a nice smoky flavor and makes you feel nice afterwards too. This group needs a bit of loosening up, don't you think?
I don't think that's the best idea.
Why not?
I just don't. So leave the chili be, okay?
Whatever you say.
We should be ready to serve. Just one last taste. Perfect. Come on, let's fill up these bowls and get everybody fed.
That was some mighty fine chili, Danny boy.
Glad you liked it.
I'd say it was the best damn chili I've ever tasted. You ever decide to give up gunslinging? Maybe you could open up a restaurant.
You really think so?
I'd be a regular.
Gosh, thank you.
It's a nice night.
Perfect for relaxing and enjoying the company of one's comrades. The best part of the day. I have always said that the battle is won or lost around the campfire the night before.
Hell of a day, huh, Jake?
I'll say. It's disheartening to know there's so many men out there hell-bent on bringing others to ruination. But at least we saw through his ruse.
It's as they say. There's a mark born every minute, one to trim 'em and one to knock 'em.
If you'll excuse me, it's been a long day. I need to rest up for tomorrow's drive. Night all.
I've got nothing to ask. So, Danny, where'd you learn to cook chili anyway?
I just sorta picked it up. Can't really remember where.
I hate to leave such merry company, but I'm suddenly feeling very sleepy. Please excuse me. I'll see you all in the morning.
Sleep tight, Miss Redbird.
Night.
You look like you're enjoying yourself.
And why should I not be? We have fine weather, good food, good company. Are you not?
Well, sure. I mean, this is great and all, but...
Ah, I see. You are one of those people. In Spanish, we call them aguafiestas.
What's that mean?
Someone who does not know how to have fun.
Time for me to call it a night.
Night, Harley.
Buenas noches.
Sleep well.
We leave within the hour. Don't leave anything behind.
Morning, ladies. Sleep well?
Somehow, despite Phil snoring up a storm. Sounded like he was right there in the tent with Nadine and me.
Feller works hard, plays hard, and sleeps hard. Nothing wrong with that.
Is Danny still sleeping?
Nah, he was up at the crack this morning and wandered off someplace.
Oh, you don't know where he went?
Now, this ain't unusual for him. Reckon he needs some alone time every so often, so I'll leave him to it.
He just wandered off by himself? Is he all right?
I'm sure he's fine. But just in case anything's amiss, why don't you go look for him while Miss Redbird and I pack up the tents? I'd ask Miss Johnson, but I don't want an earful.
All right, I'll go. Danny? You out here? Where in the ether could he have gone? The river's pretty calm here, but gets rougher downstream. No idea what these are, but they're pretty. Daisies, I think. The river's pretty calm here, but gets rougher downstream. Danny, there you are.
Oh, hi, Harley.
Didn't you hear me calling?
Oh, sorry. No. Sound of the river drowned it out, I guess.
Is everything all right with you?
Sure, I'm fine.
Come on, Danny, you can tell me.
It's just, I miss Peter, my friend. Today is 3 years since he died, so I just wanted to be alone with my thoughts.
Are we talking, natural death? What happened?
It's a long story.
Well, I'm not going anywhere.
I need to collect my thoughts first. Thinking about it always gets me tied up in knots. Because, well, I never got a chance to mourn properly. It all went down so fast. He was gone before I knew it. And I was starting over someplace new. I never got to say goodbye.
Here's a thought. How about we make a kind of memorial for your friend? Maybe you can say a few words or something? Might help.
It's a great idea.
We'll need something to serve as a marker.
What do you have in mind?
We could carve something on a tree trunk.
Isn't that for lovers or something? Not a memorial. Maybe a rock would work.
Let's see what we can find. Striking little purple flowers. Would this rock make a suitable marker?
No, it's not the right shape.
These flowers are... Will this make a good marker?
There's got to be a better one.
See that rock in the river?
Oh, yeah! It'd be perfect for a marker. You did it!
Where do you want it?
How about by that tree? That's good. Just need a couple more things.
Like what?
The stone isn't a marker until it's been marked, so we need some way to do that. And I'd like to put something nice on the memorial. People usually do flowers, right?
Suppose so.
Would you mind if I stayed here? I want to think about what to write.
Sure. I'll be back with the stuff once I've found it. This should work to mark the stone. Here, you can mark the stone with this.
Yeah, this is great. Thanks, Holly.
How about these flowers?
Hey, yeah. These are perfect. Petey loved blue.
Is that right?
Yeah, he had this ratty old blue shirt he always wore. It was falling apart. Smelled awful. But he insisted it was lucky. Made the rest of us wear something blue for luck.
Hence your vest.
Yeah.
That's everything, right?
I think so. Well, I haven't gotten the incense paper, so this will have to do. It means a lot. You taking the time to do this. I'm sure you had better ways to spend the morning.
Can't think of any. Would you mind telling me what happened to your friend?
Well, Petey and I left El Presidio along with 5 of our friends. We were looking for new lives out on the frontier. I told my parents we were pooling our money together to buy a farm, which was true. Except, we didn't actually have any money. Petey took charge and we all started off working odd jobs here and there. But he got impatient. He got it into his head that it would be easy money to rob a stagecoach. I didn't much care for the idea, but once Petey put his mind to something, there was no turning back. So the big day came, and things didn't go so well. Petey didn't make it. I was the only one who did.
I'm sorry.
Me too. I just wish I'd said something more. Push back harder on the whole idea. But honestly, talking about it helped. So, thanks, I guess. If you don't mind, I'd like to be alone for a bit.
Sure thing. See you back on the wagon. Hey, Jake?
Yeah, Harley?
You think that charlatan at the spring learned his lesson?
I don't know, but it was kind-hearted of you to let him go.
I appreciate.
Anytime.
Hey, Nadine.
Hello, Harley. Something I'd like to ask you. You seem quite well traveled. What's it like in a big city?
I don't think anything I could tell you could take the place of first-hand experience.
I suppose you're right.
Doubt it's anything you can't handle. Stick with us and you'll be fine.
I imagine I will.
Good book?
I'm not much of a literary critic, but it helps pass the time. Danny told me you're a writer. Have you published any books?
Me? No, books are way beyond my reach. I stick to articles and essays, and have trouble enough with those.
You shouldn't underestimate yourself. It wouldn't surprise me to see a book with your name on the cover someday.
Well, that's kind of you to say. Guess we'll see.
Folks, we're making a brief stop.
Any particular reason we've stopped, Miss Johnson?
I needed to stretch my legs. You might take advantage and do the same. We're off again in about 20 minutes.
Come on, Danny. Let's go have a look at that oil derrick.
Excuse me, ladies. I have some business to attend to.
Both of you can do as you like. Just stay within sight.
Actually, I'm curious about this machine. Do you think I could ask you a few questions?
Oh, well, I suppose so.
Tools of the trade for an oil worker, I suppose. Tools of the trade for an oil worker, I suppose.
Somebody's out here sniffing for a fortune.
Or just digging a very deep hole.
Funny how the best things are often found in the lowest of places. Come have a look, Harley.
Hello down there.
Who said that?
Up here. Afternoon to ya. What brings you folks to Cormac's oil rig?
Just passing through, friend. I was just saying you've a fine setup here.
Thank you, sir. It pleases Cormac to hear that. Sit tight. Just needs to make a slight adjustment. Then Cormac can come down for a chinwag. Whoops! Ah! Whoa, damn! Oh. Clumsy Cormac.
Jeez, are you all right?
All right as rain. Not upright, though, no. Good thing you folks is here. Hates to be a bother, but Cormac is in a pickle. Could you, lend a hand? Cormac would be ever so grateful.
Hang on, sir. We'll get you down.
Cormac appreciated, miss. Not wishing to hurry you, but soon'd be preferable to later. The blood's starting to pool in Cormac's paw.
Hey, Jake?
Yeah?
Any suggestions what to do?
That rope doesn't look too thick. Should be able to cut through it. The trick will be keeping our friend from falling headfirst into that pit.
Got anything on you that could cut rope?
Afraid not. One of the others might.
Danny? Do you have anything sharp that might serve to cut the rope?
No, but I could always shoot it.
You think that will work?
Definitely.
All right then. Shoot him down.
Right now?
Yes, now.
If you say so.
Wait, what are you... Ah!
Cormac! Are you alive?
What do we do?
Get the others. We need help to pull him out.
You're very lucky you didn't break your neck.
Cormac's got a bit of cat in him.
You are making a habit of picking up the fallen, eh, Harley?
Men just keep dropping out of the sky.
We should be on our way.
Suppose Cormac should be thanking you for the help.
Sorry about the fall.
It's all right, miss. Cormac knew the risks when he took this job. Still beats what he used to do.
Come on. We got to get back on the road.
Sure you'll be okay on your own?
Yes, sir. Cormac can handle himself. Good luck getting where you're going.
Nothing to say. Phil?
Harley?
Now we've got some time. Care to tell me about how you came to Vespuccia?
I can appreciate your curiosity, although it is painful to relate. but you may as well know. I had assembled Lieutenant General de la Vega and several of my men in Jicotea, a small village on the Loyola River. We were preparing an operation to liberate the nearby town of Caballo Viejo. The Spanish army had it under occupation for some weeks, seeking intelligence on our movements. But before we could act, they struck without warning, and without mercy. They did not confine themselves to fighting armed revolutionary soldiers. Old men, women, children, all were valid targets in their eyes. All held collectively responsible for resisting imperial rule. Victory was out of the question. We were hopelessly outmatched. Many brave souls laid down their lives to allow innocents a chance for escape. As civilians fled the village, I led the retreat north with Lieutenant General de la Vega. We gathered what we could of our forces from other positions along the way. It was clear that the army would relentlessly target any village known to harbor revolutionary cells and administer the same treatment. I left Jicotea a smoking ruin. I could not allow that to happen again. Temporary exile was the only alternative.
Just how temporary has this exile been?
A little more than a month now. I find it not so easy to keep count of the days.
So, this revolution, what exactly is it you're fighting for?
What does any man who is oppressed fight for? Freedom. Simple as that. The imperial government has grown fat on the labor of the masses. They torture and imprison anyone who dares speak out against their abuses. My people and I are straining to throw off the yoke of colonialism.
We'll talk more later.
I look forward to it.
Hey, Jake?
Yeah, Harley? Anytime.
Leger, get up here a minute, would you?
What's going on?
I don't much care for the looks of that sky.
No? Looks fine to me.
Give it half an hour and it won't. There's a dust storm coming. We need to seek shelter fast.
We can't just stop and wait it out on the wagon?
Even secured, there's a chance it could blow over. I'm not risking it. There's a house up ahead a ways. We'll stop and see if we can shelter there.
All right. I'll let the others know. Lola wasn't kidding about the storm picking up. Is someone living here? That sky is bad news. Hello? Anybody home? No answer. And wouldn't you know it, it's locked. Good thing I've got these lockpicks. Oh!
Can I help you with something?
My companions and I need a place to ride out the storm. We thought this house was abandoned.
Well, it's not. But how many are ye?
There's 6 of us. That's our wagon back there on the road.
Well then, go fetch 'em.
You're sure?
I won't have ye blow away on me porch. And you'll be keeping an old man company. So long as you're not bandits or thieves, are ye?
No, sir. We're fortune seekers. Of an honest sort.
Then we'll be getting along just fine. Now, get your folk in here quick, before we all get whisked to Kingdom Come.
Appreciate you letting us ride out the storm in here, sir. Mighty good of you.
Ah, of course. As I told your mate, I'm glad for the company. Welcome to me home. I'm Captain Philip Boylan.
Pleasure's all ours. I'm Jake Ackerman. And this is Miss Legere, Mr. Luo, Mr. Marquez, Ms. Redbird, and Miss Johnson.
Fine-looking crew, sure. And not to worry, there's plenty of space here. I've a spare room upstairs and a settee in the library.
So, Captain Boylan, would that be a sea captain?
Aye.
We're a long way from water. What brought you out here?
There'll be time for trading tales soon enough. For now, I'll be needing some assistance. I was about to start supper. Seeing as I'm setting extra places, I could use a couple more hands.
I'd be glad to help.
As would I.
Ah, grand.
Could you use another?
Sure. All right, shall we? The rest of ye, make yourselves at home. I'll sound the gong when supper's ready. Excellent work, galley crew. We'll be feasting within the hour.
You're fortunate to be so well provisioned. We recently visited a community that was having trouble with their crops, although Harley found a way to help.
So, Captain?
Aye?
What are we helping you prepare, anyway?
I'll give you a clue. It's got potatoes in. But seriously, why ruin the mystique? You'll find out soon enough.
Captain, I was wondering...
Aye?
Where did you get that gong?
Oh, that were a gift from an old friend who spent a few years sailing out of Shanghai. Is that from whereabouts ye hail yourself, Mr. Luo?
Me? Oh, no. That is... My parents came over from China, though I'm not sure where exactly. They never talk much about it. But my brother and I were both born in El Presidio.
Ah.
So have you ever been to China?
No. I hope to go someday, though. Maybe I can convince Jake to take his show overseas once this trip's over.
Maybe. Stranger things have happened. How come your parents didn't tell you where they came from?
They don't like talking about their old lives. I eventually gave up asking.
Such a shame. I never knew where my parents came from either.
Well, the important thing is, we're enjoying each other's company right here and now.
Right.
Well, this should be plenty, thank ye. Why not go rest up? I'll sound the gong when supper's ready.
That was lovely. What an interesting life he's led.
I bet he's got as many stories as Jake. Speaking of which, I better go find him.
I'm going to look in the library. See you at dinner.
That probably goes to a closet. Locked.
It seems the good captain is an avid reader.
No kidding. That's a nice instrument.
Isn't she? Very finely crafted. I wonder how the captain came by her.
Quite a collection, huh?
You know, Dr. Sedgwick was also fond of collecting. Not like this, though. Mostly things like medical diagrams, antique surgical implements, and wax anatomical models. When I was young, I used to go into his office to sneak peeks at the old books that had illustrations of people showing different afflictions. Pustules and lesions, scrofula, all the venereal diseases at once, that sort of thing. They were kind of horrifying, but also strangely fascinating.
Why, Nadine, you absolute scamp. No sense interrupt. Admiring the captain's collection?
I am. Such
classical dialogues, poetry, and natural philosophy.
Miss Leger, eager for your supper?
Just looking around.
I'll sound the gong when it's ready.
This is the water closet. Miss Johnson, there you are.
Yep.
Can you see anything through that spyglass?
Just the wagon. Wanted to make sure it's standing up to the storm.
And is it?
Seems to be. Excuse me, won't you?
I can just make out the wagon through the dust. At least it hasn't blown away. A musty-smelling mess of laundry. Captain Boylan was quite dashing in his youth. Wasted no time making yourself comfortable, I see.
My back's been acting up lately, you know? Truth is, it's been a while since I was out on the road like this, camping with only a bedroll every night. Guess I got used to inns and soft mattresses. And there's a decent bed in the show wagon. Now, it ain't like I've gone soft or nothing, just, you know, showing my old bones some love. We can chat after supper. Right now, I could use a rest.
I can't remember the last time this table was so full. How are ye finding the fare?
Not bad.
Most satisfactory.
The very soul of rustic simplicity. Quite simple and, unadorned.
And no adornment needed. My compliments to the kitchen. But then I'm not exactly impartial.
In any case, it's been a real pleasure having a proper meal at a table.
Been roughing it then?
And how? A campfire don't compare to this.
Where are ye folks headed?
El Presidio.
Ah, I used to sail out of there.
Have you by chance heard of Dr. Bennett Clark?
I can't say the name rings a bell. Is he a friend of yours?
No, he's really of no relevance. Can't imagine why Miss Leger would bring him up. You said you sailed from El Presidio, Captain Boylan?
Aye, for many a year. I used to captain a whaler.
No kidding. You must have some stories.
A fair few. I could tell ye about the largest beast we ever snared. The one what took me leg.
Go on then, tell us.
It was back in 25. We was circling a lagoon off the coast of New Spain. We were on the point of giving up, when suddenly, a great monster breaches off the port bow. She was the biggest I'd ever seen. I shouted the order to launch the whaleboats in pursuit. Me men put all their backs and all their hearts into rowing, and soon we was on her. All around, the water was churning white with foam. The beast surfaced again so close, we nearly capsized. But the harpooner had steady legs and a steadier aim on him, and he struck true. Then the battle began. Oh, how she thrashed and reared. Somehow, the rope got wrapped round me leg and pulled and tore almost clean through. I thought I was a goner for sure, but it wasn't over yet. At last, the beast tired out. We hauled her in just as it was getting dark. Cutting her up was no easy job. She was 50 foot if she was an inch. Got a good sum for all that oil and blubber. But it wasn't only the whale went under the knife that night. Doc cut me up too, taking care of what little was left of me leg by that point. Saved me life.
Quite a tale.
That poor creature.
I doubt you'd feel that way if you met one yourself, Missy.
How about we just finish our dinner? If anybody has an appetite left after that story.
Aye, fair enough. No, that was a fine meal. And a fine meal should be followed by some fine rum and conversation. Would ye care to join me in the library?
That sounds like a perfect way to pass the evening.
I'm going to retire. Sounds like the storm's died down, so I'm bunking in the wagon.
You sure that's a good idea, Miss Johnson?
I'm sure. See y'all bright and early.
Harley, a word?
What is it?
Captain Boylan's a friendly feller, but you were a mite loose-lipped at dinner, if I may say. We don't need every Tom, Dick, and Harry knowing about our search for Clark's money.
Suppose I was. It won't happen again.
Glad we're on the same page. Now let's go join the party.
Sure you won't have some rum, Miss Redbird?
I'm sure. Thank you.
And for you, Miss Leger.
You can spare me a pour as well, Captain.
Aye, fair enough. A toast to new friends.
Cheers! Damn, where'd you say this stuff came from?
A gift from an old friend in Barbados. Best rum in the world, in my opinion. Got plenty more in me cellar. You're welcome to it. Now then, Mr. Marquez, I had a question for ye.
I may have an answer.
Am I mistaken, or are ye of the new Spanish persuasion?
I am, yes.
Ha ha ha! Grand! I'd like ye to have this. She belonged to an old friend of mine. New Spanish, like yourself. He used to play the most beautiful music. He left her to me when he died, but I always felt she should return to her proper home, as it were.
I'm honored.
Suppose I ought to have asked if you play.
In fact, I do. A little bit, anyway.
Go on, then. Give us a song.
Very well, but let me tune her first. That should do. Now, let's see if I remember.
Goodness, that was beautiful. Where did you learn that?
Thank you, Harley. I had a tutor as a child. My father insisted I learn to play something, so I chose the guitar.
Well, ain't you just full of surprises?
I think this calls for another round.
Hear, hear.
It's been a grand evening. But this old salt needs his beauty sleep. Stay up late as ye like. All I ask is ye not disturb me in me quarters. I'm not a light sleeper, but I can be a right bastard when startled.
I promise we'll steer clear and tiptoe quieter than the angels. Good night, Captain.
See y'all in the morning.
Don't know about you folks, but I ain't ready to bed down just yet.
Yes, the night is still young.
Let's say we have a couple more rounds.
The rum's all gone, though.
Captain Boylan said he had more in the cellar.
I'll just go fetch a bottle or two. Oh, bad news. Cellar's locked.
Oh, chingada.
Guess the party's over, then?
Not necessarily. Harley, would you be so kind as to apply your skills to our little problem?
Sure, I can get that door open. I've still got my lockpicks, so it'll be a cinch.
Atta girl. Let us know when you done it.
This could be useful. Locked. A diamond. Fantastic. Jake? Phil? I got it.
Nice work, Harley. Now let's go get that rum.
I cannot see a thing down here.
How about we light that wall lamp?
This will help us see down here if we can light it. The dinner gong. Can't. For an old sea captain, Boylan's got some rather modern conveniences. Well stocked, but not with anything I need. For an old... Don't mind if I do. Much better.
Now, about that rum.
What was that?
Sounded like the captain's voice. Come on. You heard it too, huh?
Yes, it came from upstairs, I think.
It sounded like Captain Boylan, but aren't his quarters on this floor?
I thought the same.
Perhaps we should go see if he's all right.
Yep, you and Miss Redbird check the spare room, Danny and I'll check the bedroom. Harley, you look in the captain's quarters. We ain't got time to lose.
Odd. Captain Boylan's not here. Where could he have gone? Hang on. What's this? There's a small switch in the back. Well, I'll be damned. Captain! You're still breathing, thank God. Hang on, I'll get help.
He appears to be fine physically, but he seems to be in some sort of trance.
A trance? How do you mean?
His eyes are open, but he's not really awake. He's gone within himself. I've seen people do this voluntarily, to meditate or relive certain memories, but Captain Boylan seems trapped.
Is there anything we can do?
I'm not entirely sure. Did he say anything when you found him, Harley?
Not a word.
I'm at a loss. Something brought this on, but what?
Could it have something to do with this room? If he went to the trouble of building a secret passage, it must have some significance to him.
That's a very good point. I would say this place is a sanctuary.
But from what? The man lives alone in the desert already. What's he need a secret sanctuary for?
Look, on the wall there.
It's a sketch of Captain Boylan with 5 other men. His crew, maybe? There's a signature. A. Cranach.
Cranach? God forgive me.
Captain, can you hear me?
The doom? The doom!
What doom? What do you mean?
I came from nowhere. I ought to have taken heed. I ought to have let it take me.
Captain? Captain? He's unresponsive again.
Poor man. It's clear he's suffering.
I only wish I could diagnose the cause.
I think I have an idea.
Yes?
That chair, the way it's positioned, facing that sketch, this room being hidden, I think something happened to those men. Something bad. And I think the captain blames himself for it. He probably comes in here to punish himself.
Oh, how you figure that?
Because, well, call it a hunch.
I don't know. Seems kind of far-fetched, don't it?
Not entirely. I've read some of the new theories about the study of the mind. A particularly traumatic event may have shaken Captain Boylan's sanity.
So, he has gone mad?
Yes, but he may not be beyond help. We could try to reach him. I could try a form of hypnosis.
Oh, sure. That's where you get him to cluck like a chicken, right?
Not at all. It means he would be calmed and put into a receptive state. Then we could speak directly with his unconscious mind. But to have the best chance, we would have to recreate the environment he's experiencing as accurately as possible.
I don't know about this, Nadine. Do we know it'll work?
No, but it's better than doing nothing.
So what do we do?
We must each take on a role.
Oh, you mean like play acting?
Something like that. If we can each convincingly assume the identities of the men in that sketch, the captain may feel they are truly here with him. His fantasy will become clear, and we'll be able to guide him through and out of it.
Sounds just crazy enough to work.
But we know nothing about these men, aside from what they look like.
Which means we need to find out more. The more details we have, the better.
Then let's put this show together. Harley, you're good at finding things. See if Captain Boylan had a diary or something.
All right, I'm on it. Spare linens, and an old sketch. A sketch of a ship, the Derwent. There's a note. Captain Boylan, looking forward to our first voyage together. Signed A. Cranach. Cranach? That's the same name on the sketch in the attic. So the Derwent must be the ship I'm looking for. This is the water closet. Ah, here we are. The logbook for the Derwent. The Derwent sailed out of El Presidio in 1830. Listed crew is Captain Philip Boylan, First Mate Michael Benelli, Navigator Karanga Payo, Harpooner Jalal Fisher, Dr. Jonas Francois, Cook George O'Malley, and Alfred Cranach, profession unlisted. I'll take this hat. The plaque says the Corunna. Oh, that's interesting. There's a little model sailor that looks kind of like Captain Boylan. And that other one there looks like one of the men in the attic sketch. I need to figure out exactly who it is. Looks like a navigational chart. I'll take it with me. There's a path drawn around an island that says Detour. The name of the island's been crossed out. There we are. These two charts show the same land masses. The island crossed out on my chart is called Hastram Skerry. There's an old book in here. A journal. Better take it. There's not much in here. I guess Captain Boylan didn't care much for writing. Here's an interesting passage.
Fisher landed another whale today on his first shot. I asked him how he managed it. Turns out he's been tying his wife's kerchief to the harpoon handle. Swears it brings luck and improves his aim. Ah, to be young and in love.
The captain won't miss this for now. Not much inside. There is a folded up piece of paper. Seems to be a recipe for sea biscuits. There's a note. Your favorites. Told you they were simple to make. Perhaps someday you can whip some up for me. It's initialed GOM. Not much. Seems it's initial. There's an empty bottle and a note in here. I'll take the note. Captain Boylan, I recommend taking 1 nitroglycerin tablet per day and avoiding overexcitement. Dr. Francois. Ah. Nice to be able to functional little nightstand with storage. Hey, I've seen this sort of thing before. I believe it's called scrimshaw.
We ought to find out who those men in the sketch are before amassing a collection of... Let me know when you found something that might tell us...
There's not much in... Here's an interest...
Fisherland...
Captain... It's been caught... A sketch... Captain... The...
Let me know...
I hope we're able to...
There's gotta...
I must admit, this is all very odd. though I do pity the captain.
Storm seems to... Boylan? That's Captain Boylan on the left. According to the ship's log, these other men are harpooner Jalal Fisher, cook George O'Malley, Dr. Jonas Francois, first mate Michael Benelli, and navigator Karenga Payo.
Let me know when... What's this, a journal?
Captain Boylan's personal one.
I see. Well, I'll let you pore over it for any pertinent information. Let me know.
I found the ship's log for the crew in the sketch.
Nicely done. Let's have a look. All right, so we've got a first mate, navigator, harpooner, doctor, cook, and artist. We can probably leave that last one out.
Okay, so Danny can be the cook, Nadine the doctor, Phil the harpooner, you can be the navigator, and I'll be the first mate.
Oh, don't you think I ought to be the first mate?
Does it really matter?
Reckon not. Right, now all we need are some props.
Props?
Sure, for authenticity. Have another look at the sketch. Each of the crewmen is either wearing or holding something unique.
Jake's right. If we each have the appropriate item, it will increase our chances of convincing the captain that we are his former crew. I'd also suggest trying to learn at least one personal detail about each one, just in case.
Okay, I'll have a look around.
Bring me any items you find.
And let me know when you're ready to begin the performance.
This is a lot to keep track of. I'd better make a list.
Keep that handy. Remember to bring...
Here's a carved whale tooth for Dr. Francois.
This one's you, Miss Redbird.
I found this inkwell and quill. Should work for drawing O'Malley's tattoo on Danny.
Right. I'll hold on to this thing until it's time. Seems like handy information. Thanks.
Here's a harpoon for Mr. Fisher.
All right, this one's yours, Phil.
I do hope this works.
A spyglass for Navigator Payo.
Great. Thanks.
Here, this is the hat First Mate Benelli wore.
Perfect. I'll hang on to it. Nice work, Harley. I think we got all the props we need. Nice work, Harley.
Is everything ready to go? Keep in mind we'll likely only get one chance at this.
I think so. I've found everything I can.
Excellent. Let's gather everything together and get started. I'll begin. Then we can each say who we are. Captain Boylan, Hear the voices of your former crew.
Me crew?
Go ahead, Harley. You start.
First Mate Michael Vanelli reporting for duty, Captain Boylan.
Michael, can it be?
Captain Boylan, it's Karenga Payo, your navigator.
Payo, you're alive?
Captain Boylan, it's me, George O'Malley. Supper is almost ready.
Ah, yes, I can smell it. Delicious.
Captain Boylan, I am Jalal Fisher, harpooner.
Of course, Fisher! I knew ye'd made it.
And I am Dr. Jonas Francois.
Doc! Oh, Doc, how I've needed ye. Me crew? Can it be?
Yes, Captain. We've come to speak with you.
But you're not some devils sent to trick me?
We are not, I assure you.
Prove it then, Benelli. If it's truly yourself, tell me the name of the ship we served on before the Derwent.
Why, the Excelsior, of course.
The Excelsior? What madness do you speak?
Forgive me, Captain. I've had a hard time of it recently.
Aye. Perhaps I'd best not judge ye too harshly. Payo!
Aye, Captain.
Remind me of the course correction ye made this morning.
We're going around Hostrom Skerry.
That's right. I remember now. Fine work, Payo. That'll surely save us some time. Fisher, have ye your harpoon at the ready?
Aye, sir.
And your aim will be true?
Yes, I have my wife's lucky kerchief tied to the handle.
Ah, good. Then our hunt is sure to succeed. O'Malley?
Sir?
I believe I know that delicious scent. But remind me what it is you're making.
Why, your favorite, of course. Sea biscuits.
As I suspected. I can hardly wait for a taste.
Captain, I recommend you take it easy.
Why is that, Dr. Francois?
I don't want you to put any stress on your heart. Have you been taking your nitroglycerin tablets?
I have. I think I have. It's strange. I feel as though you're me crew, yet I can't be certain. Most of your faces are clear to me, but... Blast the fog! If only I could clear it away.
Perhaps you still can. Tell us what you remember.
Aye. 20 years ago. The Derwent left El Presidio on the hunt for whales. We'd been out for months, with almost naught to show for it. A wretched haul and wretched pay. Benelli came to me, saying the crew was getting agitated, yearning for home. Forgive me, Benelli. I ought to have listened to you. After the third time you tried to speak sense, I tossed you in the brig for insubordination. One more, I said. We'll not turn for home before we bring in one more whale. Payo and Fisher, at least, were keen. I saw the signs, but didn't want to believe them. Didn't want to turn back. But there was a devil of a storm brewing, and he brought us down. Poor Benelli, locked in the brig, to drown like a rat. And the rest of ye didn't stand a chance once the ship turned over. Brave, brave Fisher. You saved me life when it ought to have been me what went down with the Derwent. Ah, lads, that night's been eating away at me for 20 years. How I wish I could go back. How I wish I could make things right.
It's all right. We've come to tell you that we forgive you.
You do? But I'd be the reason you're all dead.
Did you cause the storm?
Of course I didn't. But if I'd listened and turned back, we'd never have been caught in it.
Suppose we had turned back and been boarded and murdered by pirates.
What's that got to do with anything?
Bad things happen. Most of them we can't control. You made a mistake, and it cost the lives of your friends. That doesn't make you a bad person. You were given a second chance. The important thing is to use it.
But how?
You already are. Not everyone would take in 5 strangers seeking shelter without question.
It won't ever stop hurting. But you can take the pain and turn it into something good.
I suppose you're right. I swear I'll do right by all of ye. Thank ye. You've given me a moment of peace. I hope to God you've found it as well. Oh, I'm weary.
Think it worked?
I hope so. Come, we should get some sleep. And let's refrain from mentioning this to the captain in the morning.
Appreciate your hospitality, Captain.
Think nothing of it. I hope you all slept well.
Very much so. And yourself?
Best sleep I've had in years.
I'm glad to hear it.
Ye said you were headed to El Presidio?
That's right.
Then I wonder if I might trouble ye for a small favour. I've a letter needs delivering. Could I entrust it to ye?
Of course.
My thanks. I'd also like to leave ye with a couple of mementos for being so quick to volunteer and help out. Mr. Lowe and Miss Redbird, please, take this bottle of Barbadian rum. Perhaps ye might split it between ye. Makes dull work go faster.
Oh, thanks. That's very kind.
And for you, Miss Leger, this tea caddy. I carved the inlay myself.
It's beautiful.
Best of luck on your journey. And if ye ever pass this way again, feel free to knock on me door.
Thanks, Captain, we will.
Our stay at Captain Boylan's farmhouse was anything but dull. I can't say for sure whether we truly helped him for good and all, but he seemed himself again when he saw us off this morning. I do believe he was truly lonely in his self-imposed exile and grateful for even the brief company we offered. After traveling half the day, we've stopped for a brief rest, and Nadine has asked me to accompany her on an excursion into the desert. For what purpose, I shall soon learn.
Thank you for accompanying me, Harley.
Not a problem. What are we doing, exactly?
Gathering firewood. There's probably plenty of petrified wood, but we should be able to find some useful scrub.
You sure? Seems awful barren.
At first glance, yes, but the desert is good at concealing. Just look closely and you'll find what you're seeking. Over here looks promising.
Whew, that is some strong-smelling stuff.
There, over by that flintstone. That branch is perfect. I'll let you do the honors. That branch is too green for firewood. It'll smoke.
Might find some other use for it.
It could be good for whittling.
Surprisingly light. Suppose there's more around here?
Undoubtedly. It probably came from that tree over there. Let's split up. I'll check beyond the tree. You search the area to the south. Once you've gathered enough, we can meet back here and sort.
Okay. Good luck, I guess.
And to you.
branch isn't going anywhere without coaxing. That's not going. It's a beautiful wooden box with an inlaid scrimshaw carving. Says it's from Ceylon. There's still a little bit of liquid in. Not the best quality lock. That's... Not much in here except a rusty knife. But a rusty knife is better than no knife at all. Damn it! Fast, little son of a gun. This should do for 5. This branch Damn it! Where did that varmint get to? Come on! Got it. I'm starting to get an idea, but it needs work. There. Now the cloth is soaked in alcohol. Fantastic. Well, well, look who it is. Go on, get out of here. Nadine's never going to believe what I went through to get this. Right, that should be enough. Now to find Nadine.
It sounds like you went to some lengths to gather that wood.
Did you fare any better?
Nothing so exciting. Just gathered a bit with some patient searching. You said a coyote ran off with one of the branches?
Yeah, sneaky little thing. I improvised a torch and scared it off with fire.
Clever. You outsmarted the trickster. You know, Vespuccian natives tell many stories about Coyote the trickster. He's never quite either good or bad, but he's always getting into scrapes and causing trouble. Would you like to hear one?
Please, I'd like that.
Okay, but first...
What are you doing?
You'll see. Now then. Coyote went to visit Kingfisher because he was out of food. Brother, what have you got to eat? I'm very hungry. Kingfisher didn't like this rude way of talking, but he flew to the top of his lodge, then flew to the river and down through a hole in the ice. He came back up with many fish. The two ate until their bellies were full, and Coyote went home. The next day, Coyote climbed up onto the roof of his lodge. "What are you doing up there?" asked his wife. "Why, you know I've done this before. I'm getting food for our supper." Coyote jumped off the roof, down to the river, but he missed the hole and broke his neck and was killed. Kingfisher, who had been nearby, walked over to where Coyote was. He jumped into the river and emerged with many fish. Then he jumped over Coyote 4 times, and Coyote came back to life. "This is my way, not your way," said Kingfisher. "I do not imitate others like you do." He handed Coyote the fish before leaving. Coyote went back to his wife and showed her the fish. "Look at these big fish. I caught them the way Kingfisher does. Kingfisher is afraid of my power. He told me not to do this again. He knows my medicine is strong." Coyote's wife cooked the fish.
Wow, that's a hell of a tale.
I always found it rather compelling.
So where did you hear the story?
Actually, I read it in a book, Myths and Legends of the Native Vespuccians. Dr. Sedgwick bought it from a traveling bookseller. I think he was of 2 minds about giving it to me. On the one hand, I know he considered it frivolous heathen claptrap, but on the other hand, he thought it might be meaningful to me, having something connected to my origins. He was right. I cherished that book, devoured it. It was written by a white man who was supposed to have traveled all around the country collecting native folk tales. Sometimes I wonder if he ever left the publishing office in Bright Bay. Maybe he just made them all up. I preferred to believe that there was something authentic about them, though.
I imagine the writer did a fair bit of massaging to make the stories palatable to the book-buying public. Editors are finicky about what they'll publish. And who even knows if the people he got the stories from were just telling him what he wanted to hear? But somewhere in there is the seed of the original stories and the truths they have to tell. If putting them in a book helped them reach more people, like you, then that's a good thing, right?
Yes, I suppose so.
Anyhow, I liked the way you told it. It's your story now.
That's very kind of you to say. Thank you. Here, for you.
Oh, this is really well done. Thank you.
Shall we head back now?
Sure. Let's go. Hey, Nadine.
Hello, Harley.
I've still got old Captain Boylan on my mind. Think he'll be all right?
I think so. He seemed much more at peace when we left him. I'm just glad our intervention did some good.
I have to say, I've learned quite a bit about coyotes lately.
They are fascinating creatures, aren't they? I'm sure you can understand why there are so many stories and legends about them.
Hey, Jake?
Yeah, Harley?
Do you suppose Captain Boylan will be okay?
I think so. You did a good thing helping him. Of course, without all the proper atmosphere and props, I doubt it would have been half as effective.
I appreciate the chat.
Anytime, Harley.
Hey, Leger, I need a word.
Yes?
There's a stopped wagon up ahead. Traders from the look of it. I'll pull over. Go see if they've got anything worthwhile for sale.
Will do. Excuse me, ma'am?
Oh, hello there. Where did you come from?
The wagon just down the road there. I was coming to see if...
Hold up there, stranger.
Pa, what are you doing?
State your business. We do not want trouble.
Easy there. Trouble's the last thing I'm looking for.
Then what are you looking for?
I've been sent to inquire if you were traders. Thought we might do business.
Ah, well, there you are then. You can put the gun down, Pa. She's clearly not a highway woman.
No? You know how sneaky they are, Ma. And this road is infested with them.
You've had some trouble with bandits, then?
Not personally, thanks be to God. But we know the terrible tales.
And we take such warnings seriously. Very seriously.
Pa, please. If she did have any wicked intent, I'm sure she's given it up now that she sees how well protected we are. Please put the gun away, and let's talk like civilized Christian folk.
Very well. I swear, if you attempt anything...
She'll regret it sorely, I'm sure. There now. Well, you asked if we were traders. And indeed we are. We're bound for Rosewater to sell our stock. We were about to make camp for the evening, but we'd be glad to show you what we have, provided you can pay or trade.
My companions might like to take a look.
Well, we could display our wares before we make our camp. Or perhaps we could all camp together, make an evening of it. A chance to trade stories as well as wares.
Now, Ma, is that a good idea? Ria has been fussy all day.
It will be fine. She loves meeting new people.
We do not have extra food, so we cannot feed you.
That's all right. We have some. We can pool what we've got.
Very good. A potluck.
Great. I'll let my companions know to prepare for company. By the way, my name's Harley Leger.
Pleasure to make your acquaintance. We are the Fortine family. I'm Sarah Little Owl, and my husband is Carl. We've also got 3 children in the wagon. Beth, Bram, and baby Ria. You'll meet them later this evening.
I look forward to it.
What a nice evening. I'm so glad we did this. Seems Gegi's taken a shine to Miss Johnson.
She's a fine dog. With a little training, she'd be a fine trail companion.
Oh, I don't think we'll bother with all that.
Fair enough. If you'll excuse me, I'm going to the other fire.
Take Gegi along if you want.
All right. Come on, girl.